Hi everybody. Today we're just going to do a basic before and after video here on my Gourami tank. We're going to do a very simple water change. The main thing I really want to do is get in there and trim some of the plants back. Chiefly I want to trim back the red tiger lotus that you will notice off here to the right. It's just getting really thick and out of control. It's getting way too close to the surface, and it's just blocking a little too much of the light down in the lower portions of the tank. So I just want to get in there and trim that out. I will do any little minor trimming on any little dead stuff I find when I'm in there. I might thin this floating water sprite out just a little bit. Doesn't really need it, so I probably won't bother with that unless I see anything in there that's again dead, or just looks like it needs to be cleaned up while we're in there. I did do a small water change yesterday. I've been shooting a video series with my friend, the Inquisitive Fish Guy, and this is the tank I sat in front of for the second part of our video series, and I wanted to get it cleaned up a little bit and looking nice. So the glass has already been wiped down. I've already done a small water change. The pH is a little too low for me to do big water changes. It's 6.4 in the tank, and my tap is 7.4. So I can't do large water changes without too much of a pH swing. So I did maybe 15% yesterday, and I brought the nitrates from about 40 parts per million, maybe down just below that, but they're still a little higher than I want them. So since I do need to get in there and trim those plants back anyway, we're going to go ahead and just do another little 10 or 15% water change while I get in there and snip a few plants. So nothing major. We probably will go have a look at some water parameters and check some water in a few minutes, and then we will do the after. So sit tight, let me get started, and we'll see where we go from here. Alright everybody, we've actually finished the water change already, so these are before and after values of both the pH and the nitrates. Now with the nitrates there on the right, I know it's hard to tell a difference, but the vial on the far right is actually the after value, and the one next to it to the left is the before value. And I can tell a difference, but it is ever so slight. The vial on the right is a little bit lighter. Regardless, they are both really close to 40 parts per million. That's about where I like to keep the upper limit of my tank. So I think I do need to step up the frequency with which I do these water changes. I do need to keep them smaller than I used to because of the recent shift in my pH. And if you actually look at the before and after value of the pH, you can see a difference. It's not a lot, but it is there, and that's why I'm doing this small water change. If I did much more, the difference would be more significant. So we just did one yesterday. The starting value is actually still a little higher than it was yesterday. So the fish have undergone, a little bit of a rise in pH since yesterday. So I don't want to take any more water out, at least for a few more days, but we will do that soon because I don't like the look of those red vials there. So let's go back over and have a final look at the tank, and I will give you any final thoughts. Alright everybody, there you go. So nothing big, just a little 10, maybe 15% water change. I did get in and remove a lot of the red tiger lotus. I don't know why I have such trouble remembering the name of this. I ought to just call it water lily. I didn't take all of it down all the way to the bottom, but I took a lot of the taller pieces out. I took some of the older ones that had a little bit of rough tears around the edges from the fish and maybe a little too much algae growing on them. So I just opened it up a little. I allowed some more light to get down into the bottom area and just sort of opened the tank up. I did remove a little bit of the floating water sprite. And as a little bonus sneak peek, I will show you, for those of you who follow along with all my videos, you'll remember recently I got in here into my angelfish tank and removed a bunch of the floating plants. And I said it wouldn't be long before I would remove some from another tank somewhere, and they would end up over here in my angelfish tank. So there you go. New home for those, and my angelfish tank is on its way to being nice and dark and green again. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you a nice little quick before and after. I really do enjoy this tank, and I think I'm going to be shooting some more video on this here in the near future. I got some stuff on my mind I want to chat about, and I think this is the tank we're going to look at while I chat. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything coming up. Don't forget to check out IFG's video and subscribe to his site as well, and I will see you real soon on the next one.